What's up, traders? Matt from the Trade Brigade here doing a technical analysis on the cryptocurrency RARI USD for Rarible coin. We are going to be taking a look at the daily time frame chart. We'll look at the 30-minute time frame chart as well. But before we get into it, I want to give a little background on what Rarible coin actually is. If you come on over to rarible.com, this is essentially an NFT marketplace. If you don't know what NFTs are, I would encourage you to go do some research on that. It's essentially, well, it stands for non-fungible token, right? And it's basically buying some piece of artwork or basically digital rights to some sort of thing. Could be a piece of art, could be a word, could be a domain name. It can be lots of things, but Rarible is one of those exchanges where they host NFT buying and selling. It's a marketplace. So this is the coin associated with this site. That brings me to my next point. If we take a look at what's going on with the market cap of something like Rarible, so the box you want to focus on here would be right here, fully diluted market cap. We're looking at about a half $1 billion dollar market cap. Okay, and this is important to note because if you want to consider Rarible like its own sort of native token to the platform, let's go ahead and compare that to some really popular ones. Obviously, Binance coin kind of being the biggest of them. You're looking at a $100 billion market cap, not million, $100 billion market cap. So, you know, that Rarible there is about a half of 1% of this market cap. So there certainly is some room to growth from that sort of perspective. If you want to tone it down a little bit and not be overly aggressive in terms of speculating higher, look at crypto.com coin. This is obviously the new kid to the block, and they're looking at about a $20 billion market cap. So still not quite, all the way there in terms of the Rarible market cap. So I do think that there could be some room to grow based on those things. It doesn't mean it has to go higher, doesn't mean it has to go lower, but I'm just simply comparing a couple of key metrics there. So back on over to the charts to get into the technical analysis, because that's of course why you're here. From the daily perspective, I mean, I think this is the obvious pattern at play right now, coming in with our support and resistance trend lines here, forming a bit of a symmetrical triangle. So there's a couple of ways you can think about this. If you're a conservative trader, what you would watch for is a break up and over this resistance trend line, or again, a little bit more conservative than that even would be clearing this kind of resistance zone at and around 2750, we'll call it, for round numbers sake. You can certainly see a number of times we resisted a little bit low here and also a little bit low in the most recent attempt, but that kind of horizontal area is acting as the gatekeeper for higher. If we can take it out, what would be the target? Quite simply put, to the top end of the range here, closer to about 35.85, call it 36 for round numbers sake. The other thing you can do now that we have a pattern in play would sort of be to project kind of where this pattern would take us on a true breakout. So we actually have the tools to do that here in TradingView. We'll come in and mirror this price range and put that here from the bottom of the potential breakout point. What I'm getting at here is if this is the breakout here and it's truly going to go, based on the pattern and sort of measured move, we're looking at about $50 per coin. Now that's a very lofty target, but in crypto, anything's kind of possible. And the thing that's really making this trade exciting in my estimation is all of the excitement around the coin. Not sure if you can see it on your screen, but the volume here is astronomically higher up to these levels, whereas in the past, what I would consider regular for the coin would be back around here. So huge interest in the stock. Obviously, NFTs aren't going anywhere anytime soon. Rarible as a platform probably isn't going anywhere anytime soon. So I think it makes sense to have a bullish outlook on the coin. What else are we noticing about this from the daily perspective? Well, let's certainly put in the floor. We have a big area of support at 1734. If that were to break and we were to break down underneath the support trend line, you're kind of looking left for some of these prior targets. So we have 12, and then we'd sort of leave it off at the major floor of the coin, which we'll go ahead and put in just for reference. Again, I'm not anticipating we get here down below closer to $8. Now that we have the daily roadmap, let's go ahead and come into like the 30-minute time frame and talk about patterns. So what you'll notice and what's kind of unfolding in front of our eyes is this really large bull flag, and it's starting to violate, or get into rather, some of the structural lows that we really want to see hold. So those levels are going to be, if you do something like this, you can clearly see that on the break and retest here, this is where we held up at $21.75, give or take. And on the most recent downturn here, that's kind of right where we're starting to bounce, aka this lower wick is coming into sort of sight. So what I would also encourage you to take a look at would be taking the Fibonacci's out. Let's come from like where it really started picking up steam right about here up to the highs, Where's your Fibonacci for the 61.8? Kind of right at and around this zone down here. So in my estimation, if this were to hold up, truly hold up above this 61.8, above the $21.75 mark, fine. We're looking at bullish consolidation for a big 30-minute bull flag, a breakout up and over the resistance trend line, or conservatively up and over 27.66 really starts to open the door for some of those upper targets, which we pointed out from the daily perspective. Again, I'm not sure how well you can see it on your screen, but the volume here is just blowing everything from in the past out of the water. So all of the excitement, all of the hype around the stock is a good thing. Social sentiment is a good thing for seeing this coin move higher. That's really going to wrap up the video. If we do start to take out this 61.8 area, I guess we should cover some downside targets as well. Obviously, it's just a move back down into the support trend line. I think, excuse me, the daily time frame chart will do a better job of illustrating this. Let's go ahead and get rid of the fibs from here. So again, a breakdown of this kind of zone right here. Just look for a rotation back to the bottom end and then reevaluate the chart. Any breakdowns of this floor at 1734 just would not want to be involved or start speculating to the upside until we can get up and over the resistance trend line. That's going to wrap up Rarible coin in a nutshell. If you enjoyed the video today or learned anything new, let me know in the comment section or by giving the video a thumbs up. Don't forget our main channel is linked in the description. And all of that being said, I wish you a green trading week.